Good afternoon. My name's Ethan Mitchell, and today I'd like to discuss, should Christians be lifelong learners and critical thinkers? First, lifelong learning. Let's talk about the definition. Malcolm S. Knowles states, the simple definition of a learning is the acquisition of knowledge or skills through experience, study, or by being taught. It's important to note that a passionate Christian reflects the very definition of learning in their lifestyle. By attending church, they are acquiring knowledge, and skills through experience, study, and by being taught. Now, the benefits of lifelong learning for an individual. In The Benefits of Lifelong Learning, an article by Marjan La, she explains, learning generally employs the skills of reading, listening, and writing, skills essential to the ability to communicate. Enhancing these skills improves our ability to write a business letter, compile a marketing report, give a department presentation, or even speak one-on-one to the company president. She believes this will enhance career opportunities, mental sharpness, confidence. These can in turn up someone's pay rise and their self-esteem. She believes this will help Christians and non-Christians alike. Now, let's talk about the church congregation. In the article, The Christian Worker and Lifelong Learner, Dr. William Larkham explains, one other aspect of a relentless pursuit of excellence is lifelong learning is evaluation. Critique of ministry practice at appropriate intervals will give opportunity for improvement. He believes that with the church, the growth of the church congregation and society, it is important the church improves to fill the need. In this way, he believes a Christian committed to lifelong learning can positively impact the church. Now, can lifelong learning help a Christian positively impact their community? In the book, Lifelong Action Learning for Community and Development, the authors state there are many paths to affecting the community development process. We explain lifelong action learning as a particularly effective and lasting approach to pursuing this process. They believe that by practicing lifelong action learning themselves and by teaching it to the individuals in their community, that they can affect positive change. Lifelong action learning is very similar to lifelong learning, and I believe that in this particular situation, the quote applies. Let's talk about critical thinking. In the article, Argumentative Evidence and Evaluation and Critical Thinking by Mia Pliagemez Alexander and Bianca Plug compare thoughts from leading scholars in this field. A quote from NSRH states, he conceives critical thinking as an educational ideal, requiring the tendency or attitude to value and seek good reasoning. Now, is critical thinking essential in the 21st century? A quote from Leah Willerman states, researchers have estimated the world's data storage to be at 295 exabytes. That's enough information to fill a pile of CDs to the moon. This vast pile of information is only getting vaster. It increases by a factor of 10 every 5 years. Dana F. Happelman uses this quote from Lee Wineman to make her argument in her book, Thought and Knowledge. Her argument is that with so much information at our fingertips, it is easy to become overwhelmed. She believes that lifelong learning is the cure. Critical thinking is the cure. Now, let's talk about motivation. There is a link between motivation and critical thinking. Emily R. states, most researchers view critical thinking as including both skills or abilities and dispositions. The disposition to think critically has been defined as the constant internal motivation to engage problems and make decisions based on critical thinking. Emily goes on to explain that high levels of motivations are required for an individual to assess information with critical thinking. She believes that to practice critical thinking will up someone's motivation levels internally. Now, can critical thinking help the church environment? In the book, A Christian Guide to Critical Thinking, Henry R. Verka explains the necessity of critical thinking for the church congregation. He states, failure to understand hermeneutical principles can cause us to interpret scripture improperly, which can in turn lead to spiritual problems in our own lives and in the lives of others who follow our example. He tells the story of a man who was misled by information. This man fell out of church, became depressed, and Henry Verka believes that this could have been avoided by critical thinking. Now, in conclusion, so, is lifelong learning and critical thinking relevant to the modern day Christian? In order for Christianity to reach a progressive world, Christians must constantly be learning and growing to meet the need of the hurting population around them. Also, in a world where there is so much uneducated opinions that are mistaken as truth, Christians are required to discern facts from fiction. So in conclusion, I believe Christians should be lifelong learners and critical thinkers. Thank you.